our goal with Subodh's social media, now that he has this presence and everything, our goal is to show like what is his disability, but also to show his abilities, right? It's always to show like, look at this person who wants so badly to do these things that everyone wants, and he's doing it. So he's traveling and he's saving and he's looking up flights all on his own. Like, he is doing this, and it's hard for him. It is really hard for him, but he is doing it. And then he asks for help when he needs to. Yeah. And he's super social, and he wants to have friends, and he wants a girlfriend so bad. So if anyone knows anyone, please let us know. Christine's on the job.
I had a movie night. I had a couple of single girls.
I did that on purpose. We're putting those seeds in.
Yes, that's exactly right. But I will tell you one thing about dating and autism, and I'm doing a video on this for my TikTok, which is when, for some people, autism, they have to have memories connected to the person. You know how we can instantly connect? I think typical people can feel a vibe. I don't think our neurodiverse or our autistic friends can necessarily do that right away. And so if you can create some engagement that's either high affect engagement or subject-specific engagement, you are building that platform for the connection.
Yeah, exactly.
And I think that's one of the things that's kind of missing. That's what I try to do. I did it for Abby and David. Yeah. I mean, Abby had a hard time connecting just because he was a new person and she was kind of scared. Yeah. So we did a lot of high affect activities like the zoo and animal-based things that we knew they could have shared interest in, and that created the memories. Because when they're in school, they have memories all over the place because they're in school every day.
Right.
And then they get out, it's just like, now we're just sort of factually talking about things, and we can't read the connection, we can't read the subtlety. And that's one of the things that I think we can always be working on, you know. And that, I think, should be a part of the dating thing. It's true for typical people, too. Right?
I was going to say, yeah, exactly. That sounds like something I need.
Right? I mean, you need to sort of...
Well, online dating is a whole different thing. What a mess. I mean, it's really hard to have those shared experiences when you're meeting a stranger. I struggle with it. It's very tough.
Well, that's why, to me, I had wanted that all dating sites, especially for older women, had to have a video component, and you had to have a referral. Somebody had to sign you up that's either got 5 stars on the site, some sort of credibility.
We need to get you on Raya. Do you know what that is?
Yes, not doing it. No, I gave up. Let's just say this. I gave up internet dating after the second man told me that he was stuck at the border. He really wanted to meet me, but that could I wire him $10,000 so that he could open his art gallery? 2 men did it to me.
What?
And the second man, I knew he was going to do it, so I played along with it. I actually played along with it. And I said, listen, I just got divorced. I think his name was Christopher. Christopher, I just got divorced, and I have access to all my ex-husband's funds, but I just can't tell him I'm sneaking the money. I said, I know we've never met, but I think we should get married anyways. I said, I don't even need to meet you. Let's just get married online, and I would just want to share my fortune with you. I was jerking him around because then at the very end, he was from Nigeria, and at the very end I said, but Christopher, I just want to get married with you before. I've got the check in my hand. I'm going to pop it in the mail to you. But I said, I just want to confirm, should we just have the wedding in Fullerton, where you say you're from, or Nigeria, where you're really from, so we can invite your Grammy and Grampy to the wedding?
And then he stopped.
Yeah, and then he stopped, and all of a sudden, click, and it was like, yeah. But it was a fun 2 weeks of purely selfish entertainment.
But I think what you're doing about creating a common space to build memories is beautiful.
Thank you.
Yes.
And I think
really important, especially a safe space for people to be themselves.
Yeah.
I mean, very rare in this world. Very rare.
And it's like in our community, the best way to meet people is from a blind date or a referral. We know that. So let's bring more people on the spectrum together and make sure it's maybe even in person where we do some activities.
There is such a lack of options and spaces for dating on the spectrum.
Yeah.
There's one group, the Ed Asner group, that's doing that in Hollywood Valley area. But I mean, there's thousands of people on the spectrum, and and then they're trying to date online. I mean, Subodh can't really understand how to date online.
You have to be, honestly, you have to be so careful. The key is the vetting, if it's people on the spectrum, because there's so many, unfortunately, the internet is dark, and if there's that many criminals for people over 50 on all the sites, all of them.
Yes.
I found a guy that was calling from a burner phone because I Googled the phone number he was calling from. Clearly he was in another country. He was one of those ones that I knew was going to ask me for money. I mean, it was like, which one is actually a person and not a criminal?
I met one guy who claimed to be a surgeon that lived on the Strand. And for anyone that doesn't know what that is, it's the strip of houses that hug the coastline of Manhattan Beach. They are extremely expensive, like Beverly Hills level.
So how did you know he was lying?
You can't be that young and be a surgeon and live alone in a house like that. It's not possible. I asked him. I said, I was like, okay, that's kind of interesting. And then I heard he lived alone. I was like, I don't know. I was like, can you just I'm an auditor. Like, can you just show me a copy of your medical license? He blocked me.
Hey, you got to play hardball out there. You do. You do.
It's crazy out there.
Well, that's one of the biggest scams. But here's the sad part. That scam where they groom you and they tell you the most perfect woman and they start calling you every morning. They say, good morning, sunshine. Right. It's a plan. It's a plan. And shame on the sites.
He had a negative dating experience recently as well. Someone who just DM'd him on Instagram.
Yep.
So it's hard out there. He wants to be with someone so bad, but we have to be safe.
He will, and I think he will. If you think of how much he's grown in the past 5 years, as he continues to do that, I think he will. It's the same with Abby. Like, Abby doesn't have some of the skills that Subodh has, but we're working all the time to build those skills. I mean, I know this is crazy, but she went to the grocery store and did the shopping. Like, that was a big deal for her to actually get all the things on the list and do it. That was a huge deal with no help. She's now walking the dog on her own, managing all the variables of our urban area on her own. That's huge. So never say never, and don't compare yourself to anyone else. Don't put a time on it. Doesn't matter.
Super important.
Whether you're 35 or 40, you can do it. Just keep working on that growth. That's what I think.
It's so
I think
important.
they're both perfect examples of it.
It really
don't you
is.
think?
Yeah.
And we too are also perfect examples of two ladies on the town.
Woo! We're each gonna get one Nigerian prince. It'll be great.